Hey there. I made this nice little cardboard build. It's just a little tavern, about a 1/24 scale. I know a lot of people build this style for tabletop gaming and that sort of thing out of XPS foam, but it is very doable out of cardboard and craft sticks. You can get just as much detail. And the beauty of this is that it's extremely robust. I mean, you could throw it around and it wouldn't get damaged. It's really fantastic. It's going to be a two-part series. This is just the basic structure done, and the best is yet to come. I hope you get something out of this, and I do hope you give this one a go. To start out, I'm scoring some lines through each of my corrugations for my walls. I've pre-cut the walls, but I'm doing this because I want to make these into boards later, and this is the quickest and easiest way to do it without fiddling around. No measuring, I just make a little base, which is the size that I'm going to guide myself with, and I make each wall individually to fit. I pre-cut all my little windows and doors out. I've drawn up a chimney on that side where I will have a chimney, and the back, it has a peak on it because the back is going to be lower than the front, and the front is going to be three pieces because it's sort of jutting out at an angle as it goes up. Just using this little joining piece to angle it outward, hot glue it down, and then the peak is glued up on top of that, so it just gives some height from the front to the back. And now a skewer in between to make it really nice and strong, so my peaks do not bend and go all floppy. Alright, now I'm going to put on the beam across the roof. It's just made from some balsa wood that I've cut at an angle so it looks like it's curved. I guess it is curved now, and I'm going to cut the peaks off because everything, as I say, is made to fit, and I'm just going to plock them on top and hot glue them down, making the building even stronger and ready to put the roof on. Before putting the roof on, I've just also cut these little pieces that will fill that gap that's between the roof and the top of the wall. Nice and neat. Corrugations running horizontally so I get a slight curve in my roof. And that's it, the basic body is all ready to go. It's lovely and strong and ready for some detail. I'm using these pieces of wood, they're craft wood. I think they're meant for skirting board for dolls' houses, but I've spotted them and thought they'd be fantastic just to put on the corners of buildings. No mucking around, instant tidy up. Just want two on the front, two on the back. Now it's really nice and strong, so I can put in the boards properly. I'm really going to pierce through those scores that I made earlier and get those boards really nice and prominent. I do this afterward when the building's constructed like this because it weakens your cardboard and you don't want it flopping around when you're trying to assemble the walls. It can be very problematic that way. So this is just quick and easy. Alright, time for some detail. Just some popsicle sticks that I have cut to very slightly different lengths because I want it to be just a little bit uneven. I don't want this building to look too perfect because I don't measure, and that means things won't be perfect. Piece of balsa wood for the side. I've scored some lines in it because I want to get a very, very slight curve out of this, and if I apply pressure without those, I know I'm going to snap it, and I don't want to risk that. Hot glue it down, and that's the front done. I'm going to pop in an attic window. I've drawn around the window that I built. It's just two little bits of cardboard, a little bit for the roof, and the three walls are one piece. Cut a hole into the roof where I'm going to plonk it down. I'll be putting lights in here later, so I want to make sure that light will get through this window. And now to put the shingles on the roof, they're just strips of cardboard from a tissue box. Bit of thick wood glue on them. You want it fairly thick because you don't want your cardboard to buckle. And these strips, I mean, you just get scissors and make a fringe, just trim all the way along it so it looks like a fringe, and then cut them into strips, glue them down. You've got yourself some shingles. From bottom to top, glue them upward. The thicker the glue, the easier this job will be. Once they're down, you can just get a pair of scissors and trim them. Wait till they're pretty dry. Don't do them when they're still wet, or you will shift your cardboard around and pull it off. And now some on the little tiny attic roof. You can see I've cut a little angle on this. Each one has an angle. I cut the first one, made sure it fit, and then I measured it up beside the other strips of cardboard and made sure they all had the same angle to save mucking around. And then just pop them on, bottom to top. Really nice quick little job, this one. For the front, I want to put in a little box window sort of room, but I realised the door was way too close to it. So I'm going to plug the door up with my little template that I've kept. I call them templates because I hang on to them to build windows and things, so I don't have to go and measure things later on. I'll score some lines in that after I've glued it down. Recut it so the hole is bigger for my little room, and I will just glue a door on that later. Very good. The little door is just made from popsicle sticks, coffee stirrers and matchsticks. Really quick and easy. I don't even know why I bothered cutting a hole in it for a door in the first place. Not like it was going to be open or anything. And I just also put some little toothpicks in here to really reinforce the very thin pieces of cardboard where I've cut away the windows because it was very flimsy. And I've written flowers on the top to remind myself to put a flower box on there in the next video. I've also put a bit of lightweight polyfiller into the corrugations just to tidy it up a little bit. That's definitely optional. And now some trim with more of the coffee stirrers. I used coffee stirrers and matchsticks and jumbo matchsticks. You can differentiate the sizes of wood and pieces of wood, and it adds detail alone just being different kinds of wood. I love these jumbo matchsticks. They're very clean. They don't have any bits of, the wood coming off like often matchsticks do where they splinter. And they're just a really nice size for crafting with. Not too small, not too big. I don't know, they're the Goldilocks of craft wood. You could put the matchsticks anywhere you like and up the sides there instead of the filler, or even just to make it really nice and tidy. You could smother these things with the wood to make detail. I'm now going to put out a little awning. It's done the same way I did the roof. I just got a piece of cardboard, corrugations to go horizontally so it will curve. Once it's dry, it holds or maintains that curve. So I've got a little frame that I made from some square dowel and matchsticks. I just made it really basic, just so it will support my roof and look, cohesive to the build. More square dowel so I can really strengthen it. And it's more detail, but for me it's often about strengthening my build. When you add detail and connect pieces, you really build a very strong little building. I've sprayed the inside of this so when anyone peeks in there later you won't notice the unsightly toothpicks. And a little door handle on. It's made from a very tiny strip of the tissue box cardboard with super glue on it. When you put super glue onto it, it will set it like stone. It goes so hard. It's quite incredible. Another one there. And it's now all ready for a good paint. It is very, very strong. I'm very happy with how sturdy this is. You could boot it around the room and it'd be a-okay. Now for some danger Australian export. Everything in Australia is dangerous, even the paint. After that, I've got some yellow ochre. It doesn't look like yellow ochre, it looks very bright, but it's just because it's against that brown that I previously put on. Just put it all over the shingles, give it a good dusting of the yellow ochre all over. It'll be a nice tone underneath the colours. Even if you put a red on top, it would come up with a nice orange tone. You can see I've cut a slot there for a chimney later down the track. And now to put the bluish green on top. It's turquoise and hooker's green that I've blended. I don't like using just straight up, primary colours. A lot of the time I like to use ones that I've mixed myself. This was meant to be quite a blue roof, but it turned out to be more green than anything else. But that would be because of the yellow underneath. But I don't mind. It's not insanely stark blue. It's quite a lovely colour. The camera makes it look a little more blue than it actually is though. Once that's done, it's time to put on a nice coat of what it kind of looks like white. It's actually a grey, but again, against this dark brown, it looks very white. It's a fairly heavy coat of this. I will be darkening it up later with a brown wash. All over the body of the building, except for the trim. Normally I don't paint buildings like this. Normally it's kind of an all-in-one deal, and then I colour the trim before I glue it down. But this was a little different. Now just a yellow ochre and a terracotta, just to put all over the trim. And then I used different browns here and there, just to sort of break it up so not everything was exactly the same colour. But I am doing a second video of this, and as I go about that, I will be altering things as I go, because this is really the kind of the slapdash easy version of this build, which is just the main building itself. All the fun stuff will be in the next one. Not that this wasn't fun. This was fun. I enjoyed it. I haven't built a building quite like this one before. And the whole new thing with slapping a door on like that instead of cutting a hole in it. I've been cutting holes in doors for years and then putting doors on top of them and thinking, what the hell was I doing that for? But yeah, I learned something new. That's starting to look really nice. It's helping bring that white out. The white looks a bit rough because I was very sloppy with cutting in my boards for corrugations. You can see the angles of it going there. But you know, if you do things like that, like I do, and you're a bit lazy and heavy-handed, you can always darken it up with brown washes and things, and you know, put some vines over it and hide it. Alright, now that's all done, I'm ready to put on some windows. I had to make about 10 windows, so I was very quick with it. I got some matchsticks, cut them all to the right length using my little templates I'd hung on to, sprayed them brown, and I also got some sheets of just scrap plastic, and I drew just the cross sections for the centre of the windows with a paint pen and a black Sharpie for a shadow. It's an incredibly quick and lazy way to do it, but geez, I hate having to make huge amounts of windows. It can be really draining. It is not fun. No, not fun for me anyway, but this looks good. I'm happy with it, and this one's just got a lot of little cross sections on it for more detail for the front window. That'll stop people peering in and seeing the dog's breakfast of lights and chopped cardboard inside. I'm considering gluing in some details later on the interior, but I'll see, I don't know yet. I like that, it looks nice. Really tidies the front up. It stops it looking so much like cardboard all of a sudden, which is great. I just super glued them. I need to get one of those super glue dispensers that allows a small amount out, because when it gushes out of one of these, geez, you get a mess on your hands, literally and figuratively. Also, it makes the windows a little milky, but I found if you use acetone, you can get a cotton bud and rub the milkiness away fairly well. Not perfectly, but it will get rid of quite a bit of it. And that's it, all done for this video. And this is kind of the part one of the build, just getting the main structure done and painted and a small detail on. But it looks really nice. I'm happy with it. I like the shape of this. And I think with a lot of detail, it's going to be a really beautiful diorama. I've got a lot to do. I've got to do a chimney, and I want to put vines and you know, flowers and grasses and signs, and I mean, I have quite a long list of things that I've got to do yet, but I think it'll be absolutely beautiful. I hope you did enjoy this, and I hope you found it useful, because it really is a very strong and simple build. I don't make things look easy, because they actually are really easy. If you cut to fit, you can build anything, and I say that with absolute confidence. Well, thank you for for making it through this far. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I really do hope to see you next time.